Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to wait about another minute. Make sure people can find me. Hope everyone's doing. I see Sue's here. I'm going to adjust this just a smidgen. Okay. So today is Wednesday. It's my weekly paper crafting day. It is June 3rd. It's also catalog live today. We can begin to order from the new catalog, which this is the cover. If you do not have one and you'd like one, please just send me a private message and somehow we'll work it out so that you can get one. I'm going to be using all kinds of new products today. So if you'd like to place an online order and your order is less than $150, please use this hostess code. Everybody that places an online order with me in the month of June, its name will go into a basket for drawing for this stamp set. And if you put in more than one order during the month of June, it'll go in as many times as you put in an order. Okay. Set that aside. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Corinne Sandin. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been teaching Stampin' and scrapbooking for over 20 years. So here is our Fun Fold card using some new products. And it stands up. I don't know if you can see it well on the camera, but it's like a double folded card. I'll turn it this way too so you can see it. And as you can tell, the very first thing on my list was the sunflower stamp set. So I'm just going to open this up so you can see the whole thing. And then if you open it this way, you have another way you can write a nice little note or everything that you would like. So I'm going to set that off to the side and go over the different parts. So in order to make this particular card, you will need two pieces that measures 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. That's our standard A2 size card. This is the Just Jade, one of the 5 new ink colors that will be with us for a couple of years. And when I ran a little survey a couple of weeks ago, it seems like the green was the most popular. Then the background mat is the new Bumblebee. This is a piece of the new ink color. That's a second color of the 5. And this is a sample of their designer series paper. And I cut that at 4 by 5 1/4. And that's the same size that I cut this white piece for inside here. Then we needed a little piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to show you a sample of the paper. I cut that at 2 1/2 by 4. And then this one, I had to use about a piece that was 5 by 3 3/4 to cut this out, and I will show you that. That's in the Ornate Garden suite. Then we need a little piece of scrap for our saying here. That's 3/4 of an inch by 4. And then I already cut out this sunflower right here. What I do is I cut out a whole bunch of pieces and then I use my Stamparatus to do the actual stamping. So let me go over a few things first before I get started. So you can find all of these products in the brand new catalog. On page 11 is a sample of the paper, which I'm using, a different one than the sample was. And on the very next page is the beautiful stamp set, and it does have coordinating dies with it. So yeah, that's what I'm using today. So let's take a look at the sample of paper. It is 6 by 6. Some people like that and some people don't. Get it. You get 48 sheets. And for those of you that may not be aware of this, wherever the name of the designer paper you have, underneath it, it lists all of the colors that will match using your cardstock. So you can see in this particular case, a lot of it is the new in colors. The Bumblebee, the Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Parade is a current color that we already have, and Whisper White. It is double-sided. Very pretty. You get 48 sheets. This is the one that I used on the sample. Let's see some of these. Let's find a different one. Here's a different one. Oh, by here. Then there's some Christmas paper. Which, speaking of Christmas, my whole theme for the month of July, I normally take it off, but with the lost in time for the coronavirus and losing class time and stuff, I'm going to develop a whole month full of Christmas in July, classes and shares. This is another one that would go really pretty with the Christmas kind of fallish. For those of you that like the blues, striped. I think I've showed them all to you now. So very pretty, pretty, pretty. So, and that item number is in the book. I will try to post it in my post after with the pictures. So the die that I was talking about is the ornament garden die, and I used the second largest one, which you can see right here. And that is in the catalog. It isn't, let me find it for you. Right here, it's that whole suite. Again, it comes with multiple items, and it coordinates with this stamp set. So you can see it here. You can buy just the dies or just the stamp, but when you combine them, you save 10%. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to do is stamp a couple of things. I am going to use my Stampin' Stamparatus. I want to stamp the flower, the big sunflower, on my cardstock here. This tool, this Stamparatus, to me is the best thing they ever invented. I don't know how you guys feel about it. But because this stamp is so detailed, I want to make sure that if it doesn't stamp correctly the first time, that I can go back and fix it. I also never put things up close to the bar here, because sometimes that causes some stamping issues. So for just a little review, if you use this, make sure you put a stamp pad underneath it before you ink it up, for a couple of reasons. One, to save the hinge on your thing here from breaking, and then to give you a firm surface to be able to stamp your stamp pad onto it. Since this is a big stamp, I am going to be very generous with my ink. So I want it just down in the corner, You don't have to press too hard. Just let your fingers do the walking. For those of you that are old enough to remember, that was part of the ad of the yellow pages in the telephone book. And I'm fine with that. So let me wipe this off because I got to put it away and get the little one. I just cut my chamois up in little pieces. Let me pull this out. Remember your magnets. If you have a pacemaker, you shouldn't use them, for one. You shouldn't use the whole mechanism, really. And then put some tape, because if they get stuck together, they're almost impossible to get apart. So this is the stamp set. Comes with a big one, small one, leaves, gorgeous, gorgeous sayings. It is a little bit challenging to get it back in the right spot, which I'll fight with it later to do that. So I'm going to flip this over just so that the other side's a little cleaner so you can see better. So because this is so small, I don't want it to shift around. I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive. Because if I put the magnets around it, it will, I won't be able to stamp it because it's so small. I'm going to place this right here. Place the stamp right over it. It might not be exact, but that's okay. I can live with it. Life is not perfect. So now I'm going to ink this up again. I'm using my Memento because I'm going to color it with my Stampin' blends. And there we go. So let me grab my Stampin' blends. I'm using So Saffron and Granny Apple Green, I think. And then Light Soft Suede. So I'm going to just color this in. Adding a little bit more over here. This is the dark. So you can see I'm not being fussy at all. Now I'm coming in with these are alcohol-based markers, so please make sure that you store them laying this way. You put your cap on very tight. And it's okay if you go outside the lines. I'm giving you permission. I know many of us grew up in an era that, oh gosh, that wasn't the thing to do. And I'm coloring the leaves. Come back with some dark. come back one more time with a little bit more dark of the saffron. Yeah, that looks better. All right. We're about ready to assemble our card. I am using some of the new ribbon that's flowers for every season. It comes with these twine, like silver and the new blue. This is the Just Jade checkered, and then this beautiful white, like linen type thread. Linen type material, I'm sorry. I did notice though that when you have a multi-pack like this, you're getting a little bit less, you're getting more ribbon total, but a little less of each color than you do when you purchase the single rolls. So I'm going to need about 5 inches to do the cheating method. Get my scissors here. And then I'll tie my tie on after. Okay, so first things first is we start with these 2 large pieces that again are 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to fold it in half and score. Out of him. Make sure those are even. Oops, if I can nip that corner. Okay, so what you want to do is kind of put these together. I call it upside down. So this is the top of one card and this is the bottom of the other card. You're going to attach the 2 of them like that. And then this one here, which will be your top one, you need to score it at 2 3/4. So let me do that before I attach them. 2 3/4. Whoa, I almost cut it. That was a close call. So that piece that I just scored is going to get folded up. Wow, it didn't score very well. And that might help you to attach it. So now you can see oops, this way, yeah. So now you can see that this piece, little piece, is going to be like that. So that might help you for attaching it. So let's put some red glue on here, so it'll give us a couple of minutes to adjust it. So I'm using my Tombow. And I would suggest that you hold this up so you don't go past the fold while you're positioning this. Take my bone folder, make sure there's no bumps of glue there. There we go. So now I'm going to rub all this one more time. So let's start with my pretty designer paper here on the back. Again, this is from the new In Color Bumblebee. That's going to go right here. Let's put a little bit of Tombow again. We do have a couple of new adhesives in the catalog. One is supposedly supposed to be better than the snail, and the other one is quite similar to the Fast Fuse that we used to have. It's a step up from a tape runner, but not quite as strong as your tear and tape. Then I have this beautiful cutout die. I do, when they're detailed like this, I do put in a piece of parchment paper between the paper and my die. It just helps it come out a little bit better. So I'm going to attach that with a little bit of Tombow. And then I'm going to put that, let me put a pop-up, I think. Wipe that off. Let's get a pop-up here. I think that would look better. There. Now I'm going to put my ribbon on the cheating method. For those of you that don't know what that means, it allows you to use less ribbon. So you take wherever you want to attach it. I'm going to take this piece that I cut off. I'm going to put some snail here. And attach it right there. So instead of running the ribbon all the way around, you can just partially run it, and I'm going to attach this to my front, leaving a little bit of border of that jade. Isn't that pretty? It's just so beautiful. And then leaving this on my roll, I'm going to slide this under and just tie a knot. Now everybody that comments and shares, we'll go into a drawing and get for a chance to get this card that I made. So there. Now I'm going to stamp the greeting, inking it up with the black. I gotta wait a couple of minutes before I fussy cut that, because I just re-inked my stamp pad just before this. Alright, let me find my good scissors, buried here. So I just cut this close to the image as I can get. Round in the corners. I love doing this because if you don't get it stamped perfectly straight, nobody knows. I don't like sharp corners. So I'm going to just take a few dabs of Tombow. I'm only adding a saying, so I don't need a lot. Put that over here, since my ribbon's over here a little bit. I don't want to touch it too much because it's so wet. So there you have it. I'm only doing one card today because it was a little bit longer. So there's the sample, and there's the one that we just made. So whoever wins it, I'll text them and see if they want the pink one or this pretty blue one. Okay, folks, so I will be back on Saturday to do a simple scrapbook. The time has changed. It's at 9 o'clock now. I just found 10 o'clock. I couldn't really have enough time to start something, and if I did, I was so stressed that I'd forget to come back on. So it's at 9 o'clock. This class here will be changing to the evening starting next week at 7. For the same reason, I find more people are going back to work, I guess, or seem to be more available at night. If you ever have a hard time finding the videos, just come to my page and hit videos, and they're all listed there. I have been uploading them to YouTube after a couple of days. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining me, and you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.